Hello lovely people, my name's Natasha. Welcome to my channel. I am filming this for Friday's Free Pattern Friday, but it's Thursday evening because I wanted you to have it first thing in the morning. So happy Friday everyone, and I hope you have a really lovely weekend. Now I have got a fair few patterns for you this week, so I'm going to go straight into it because I couldn't decide which ones to not show you. I've been looking around and there's several reasons why I have chosen the ones I've chosen, which I will tell you as I go along. But if I can, obviously not all of them are going to be for everyone and you're not going to kind of like all of them, but I've tried to have a variety so that it will at least try and please some people. Excuse me. So I will go straight into it now. And I'm going to start off with the Crocodile Delilah, and it is a square. I think really it could be used for, I think it could be used for a pot holder, you know, if you've got, you know, put it on the table to hold things that are hot, or it could just be a blanket square, or anything really, just I don't know, whatever you'd want to use them for really. The reason why I have chosen this is because the crocodile stitch is the one thing that I can't seem to grasp. So I have printed this out so that I can keep it in my stash so that I can learn it, because I've seen a lovely pair of fingerless mitts in the crocodile stitch that I really like. And so if I can master it, then obviously I can go on and do that. But I thought this would be quite a nice thing to do as a practice piece. So that is the reason why I have chosen it. And the pattern is by KTD Creations. And it uses Red Heart yarn, and it's in American terms, but you can use any yarn. It doesn't mean that you have to use the stated one that they use. I think the thicker the wool, maybe the better definition, but I think DK would be fine also, you know. I mean, I don't think that the mitts that I'd like to make, which I'll show you at a later date, is in a thicker yarn than DK. So you know, I don't know, it's up to you. And it would even, and obviously if you're going to use it as a pot holder, maybe cotton. But the pattern calls for a 6mm, but that's because usually the Red Heart yarns, Red Heart with Love and Red Heart yarns, they are usually quite thick and they call for quite a heavy, quite large crochet hook. Can't get my words out today, can I? And so there's one that looks like that, and then on the other side there's a different colour variation there where there's white in the bit and it's kind of just reversed. So that was my reasoning for showing you that as my first one. Let me just move that a little bit. And my second one, now the reason why I've chosen this is because I thought for a few weeks I would choose a flower, so that if you like the flowers and it's something that you want to try that is new, I thought if I try and find a different flower every week, you could then make a bouquet for someone or something. And I quite like that idea, because you only need to make one or two. You don't have to make a whole bunch of the same one then, so you're not getting bored of doing the same thing. So I thought I would do that as a theme, suggested theme for my Friday free pattern video going forward. Hang on, I'm getting all twisted and right, that was that one. Okay, so this is a lovely rose. I love the way, now I don't know whether I've got my lamp here today because with the curtains drawn it was all quite dark. Anyway, let's see if it'll focus. I love the fact that I think it's all individual. I'll have a look inside the pattern in a minute, but I like the fact that it's quite thick stalks. If I show you this pattern picture here, I like the fact that the stalks are quite large, and so they're not very flimsy, and it just looks like a really sturdy, lovely pattern to do. The designer, I can't even read the designer, so I'm going to show you. It's design Purcell Cruson. Don't shoot me if I've made a meal of it, but that is it. I mean, it probably looks backwards to you now because I haven't got my phone the right way, but I'll put it all in the description box below anyway, so that you can actually go along and have a look. But the material is cotton that they use for it, and it's a 3mm hook. Again, I've made flowers with just DK. You don't need to make flowers necessarily with cotton. They're just softer, you know, and not quite so rigid, but it's up to you. Again, I will put the pattern down in the description box, and then we can, you can, you know, copy it off or just go along and have a look. Now, so that is the roses pattern, and then you can look forward to seeing what flower I choose for next time. Then I came across a chapstick holder. Now, I don't know, you know, you can, if you've got a small enough lipstick, it, you know, it could go in. Now, it doesn't really show a picture until the other side, but the chapstick holder is by Kirsty Ashmore, and you can, it says you can use worsted weight cotton. Again, you could use DK if you did so want to. If you use a cotton, obviously it's a bit stiffer, so it would last a lot longer without going fuzzy, but I think it's a good idea, especially if you know, not just, you know, a chapstick obviously if it's winter, but now, I mean, you can get the sunscreen for lips, can't you, that's in the same thing, because I have to use it because I've got rosacea on my face, and so I always have to make sure that I've got sunscreen on because my lips dry very easily. And it's something that you can just, you know, have around your neck or just keep in your handbag. And I thought that that would be a really nice touch. And it's not that, it's not for the want of trying to, you know, just because, you know, if it's around your neck, it's a lot more attractive, isn't it? And if it's in your handbag, you can grab it quick because you can see the fact that it's something yarny. Anyway, so that's it. And it's just very, very simple. And it's something you can use your yarn scraps up with, I think, as well. And so it says an F hook. Well, I don't know off the top of my head what an F hook is, because I always use, obviously, like a 4mm or 3.5 or something like that. So that isn't much help, but again, you can use any yarn you like, and I thought that this would be quite a nice little stash buster if you've got some tiny little bits hanging around that you want to use for it. Now, moving on, the other week I showed you a sunshine pattern, and let me just make sure I've got it in the right order. I should have sectioned them all off, but I've got them all in a pile, so I've got to just take them when I can see that it's going to change. Anyway, I've got the other one with me so I can show you the difference. And also, I think that you might be able to help me with something. This was the one from the other week that I showed you, because we decided that we didn't like the eyes between us all because the comments said the same thing. So there is that one. And I like the rays on this one, but they just look like it's kind of like a chain and then a slip stitch and kind of a single, a half double, and maybe a double to make the rays, if you can see that. But I found this one, which hasn't got arms, because that one's got arms and legs. This one has legs and a beautiful smiling face and some lovely big thick rays, and I think that that would be a lovely pattern instead of that one. But I don't know whether to add arms or leave the arms off or what. I don't know, and I'd like to have your advice, please. I do prefer this one, I think, overall, but I'm interested to find out what you would think of it as well, and which one you would prefer. The reason why I'm making one is because the lady that I'm making a bee blanket for, she said to me that she, because I asked her about a favourite animal, and she said that she would much prefer to have a sunshine. So I said, of course I can do that. Then I came across these that look like dolls, or, you know, kind of snuggly things with legs and things, and I think this one would be quite good because it's got long legs and the child can always carry it round by the leg, like most children do with most things. I've seen elephants that hang upside down because they'd much rather hold them by the legs and things rather than holding them up the right way. So I thought that would be a lovely idea, and originally when I saw this one I thought that would be nice because it's got arms and legs, but I think the face puts me off it a little bit, whereas I think this one looks a lot more friendlier. So if you could let me know which you prefer in the description box, in the comment section, that would be really lovely. This pattern is by Teresa Alvarez, and it is, let me think, any yarn, they're suggesting any yarn that will do nicely, and you use about between 70 and 100 grams. So therefore you could, you know, in one ball and it's done, isn't it? And it's nice. The gauge isn't important on this one, and the hook size is a 4mm. And then obviously you stuff it. The pattern is in US terms but can easily be changed to English, and you know, it's quite easy to work out. So I really like that. I think that is really, really nice. But I wanted to show you the difference and I wanted to find out what your opinion is. So please comment and let me know. And then we have a bookmark, and it is an owl bookmark. I love it, don't you? I think that's really, really nice. And again, a good yarn, scrap yarn project. This is from Jelly Designs, and it says to use a 3mm hook, and it just says DK wool, so you can use anything. Again, a good yarn buster for all the little bits and pieces that you've got hanging around, and it'll be a lovely gift for the avid book reader. So I think that is really nice. Then I have been keeping my eye on this cardigan for a really long time. It's been in my Ravelry library. It's free and I actually love it. And I don't know whether I'd be able to bravely carry off the colours, but I do really love it. I love everything about this one. And I need to get over myself where sleeves are concerned and just go for it and just do it. I'm not sure what it would be like, but I'll get round to it because I really love it. It is a sheep G's or a sheep G's, I don't know. Sheep G's, I think it is, or shapiers, a lot of people call it. I don't know, and I'm sorry for butchering it. A lot of people make the same mistake, but this is the cardigan Nora by Joke to Van der Heers. Again, don't know if I'm butchering it, but I like it anyway. And I think I just really do think it's nice. It's got front post and back post stitches, so it's good to have you know, a good variety so that you don't get bored. This is a side view, so you can see the stitches quite well. And there's even some waffle stitch there, and that's really nice. It says a 7mm hook for this one, and it uses Sheep G's Namaste, which is a 50% wool and 50% acrylic mix, but there's nothing to say that you have to use their yarns. Just because they, you know, have made the pattern and they suggest it, it's fine. It is quite an expensive one, so if you do want to make it, there's lots of colours that are, you know, you can match it to if you really like the colours and everything. And just find your favourite yarn that you really love and just have a go. And if you've not actually made garments before, like me, I haven't actually made garments. I've made tiny little things for babies, but never adult size ones, because I always worry about whether it's going to fit. I mean, our bodies aren't just one size, are they? I mean, some people have bigger hips and some people have a bigger bust, and then you've got to kind of alter it. Excuse me. And I'm really not sure, like, how to go about that, or how to make sure that it's big enough without making it look ginormous or too stretched. But I'm willing to give it a go, and this one has been on my list for a very long time, and I will get round to it because I really do love it. So watch this space. And it is in American terms again. And the hook, like I said, was 7 and 8mm, but again, depending on the yarn you use. I just really like it. There is a picture of all the yarns, just to make it easier if anyone wants to see it. Although it'll probably look backwards again. And that's that. And then there's a little clasp on the front because it doesn't do up all the way. I don't know whether I'd want it done up all the way or whether I just have the top bit done up. I don't know. I suppose I have to just see, or maybe just left undone. I've got a big long one that I bought from Sainsbury's that is all sorts of different colours and patterns, and that one doesn't do up, and I just like to hold it around me when I'm cold. So I don't know. but it is very good and it is lovely. So that is that one. What is next? Next we have a pincushion. But look how adorable this is. And I think that is really lovely for any crochet cart or any knitting cart or just a sewing box. Isn't that absolutely lovely? I really, really love that idea, and I just had to share it with you. And it's called a yarn spool pincushion. Crochet pattern, and the designer, I don't know. It doesn't actually say. It's going to say somewhere. I didn't really look, you see. I didn't prepare myself. I just printed them off and thought, right, I'm going to show them. But I like how it's built up. Make two ends, sew them together, and then wrap yarn around them to actually make them look like a yarn spool. Very good. So I can't really tell you a lot about that, but if I were you, I think cotton would be a good thing for this. But again, if you just want to use DK, that's fine too. It doesn't matter, because as long as you've got somewhere safe for your pins to live, it doesn't matter, does it? Especially when you're working on a project and you want to grab them quickly. It's nice for any side table too, because if I'm in the front room doing mine, I put it all on the little table next to me, and I just think it'd be really nice. So that's the reason why I chose this pincushion. Now, my next thing to show you is something that I thought about doing because I saw it a couple of years ago from the Yarn Joy podcast. Now, I'm sorry about the rustling of the papers, but this one was quite big. I just need to make sure that I've got all the information. Now, I think this would be a lovely idea for young children and even for a nursery. And it's called the Educational Ball. Now, I printed this off and I actually thought in a few months' time, I say months because I've got things weekly that I am already assigned to, and I don't know whether I would get it done with everything else. But again, watch this space, because I'm wondering, and I think that Sally from Nana Moon's Crochet might actually like this as well, to do as a weekly thing. She knows nothing about this. I haven't spoken to her and told her about it because I wanted all my patterns this week to be a bit of a surprise for her. But this one I want to do sort of on a weekly basis as a cal, so that crochet along, so anyone can join in because of it being a free pattern. You just go along, use the link, print it off, and then do one a week and then piece it together. And it's called an Educational Ball. And look how lovely that is. Lots of textures, lots of things to touch and feel. And I love the fact that it's a ball. And it's all done. You just do the hexagon shape, and then you add your, let me put that there a minute. Then you just kind of stitch the design onto the front of it. And each and every one is different. There is a rabbit and a sunshine, a rabbit, because there were so many pages, I did it on both sides to save paper. But there's one with a flap and it's got a carrot. Well, hang on. It's got a carrot, and on the front it's got a ladybird, and you just lift the flaps to reveal what's behind. Thought that was a good idea as well. And then this one's got a ladybird with something that you attach. I don't know if it's a pull string or not, I just think it's a flap. But it says flower with a ladybird. Oh, now the pages are sticking together. There. And a fox and a sheep. And a bee and a strawberry. And then we've got a flower and a snail. And then a bear, and an octopus. And then you just sew it all together, and I think it would make a lovely item to do as a weekly project. So what do you think, Sally? Let me know in the comment below. And then we have got something for the winter. Now, I know it's a bit late and we're coming into summer, but I did think that it could be done in advance, ready for when the colder weather comes. And that is an ombre, which obviously is the yarn you use, but it's a cow's neck warmer. And I like the fact that it could just tuck into your coat, because a lot of the cowls are baggy, and then there's lots of it, and some are really restrictive, and But I thought this would be nice because it goes on your neck and then drapes along. Comes along onto your shoulders, and you can just put your coat over the top and it'll keep the warmth in. And I really like this one, and I like the effect of the yarn if you have got a variegated one that you wanted to use, because it's not pattern forgiving. You can use anything really and it won't really affect it, because there's lots of yarns that are multicolored, that sometimes the design of the actual object gets lost in the multi yarn. But even if you wanted it plain, I do think it's a really good idea. And this one it just says neck warmer. It hasn't got the designer, which doesn't help, but all the information will be down below, and then you can search it out for yourself. Oh, yes it does, sorry. It was on the last page and not underneath the title. This design was created and crocheted by Pamela Mazzola. So and the written pattern was created by a Rebecca Swan Bride. And again, this is in American terms. There isn't very many actually now that are in English terms that when I look around, so for those of you that actually don't use American terms, I'm sorry, because I will try and find some that's in English if that helps, but So far it's just American, but I think American's easier anyway. So there's that one, and I like the buttons on the front as well. And I just thought I'll swing it in there just in case anyone wants to kind of keep it in their pattern library, ready for when the good weather comes. Now here's another bookmark, which I forgot. I should have done it with the other bookmark, really, shouldn't I? But it was halfway down the pile, and this is a sausage dog one, which I thought was very cute. I love the length and everything. It's just really cute, and it can be any colour as well. It doesn't have to be the colour that they have chosen, and I like that. And it's by Fran Seri, S-C-E-R-R-I. And again, this is American terms, but I like the fact on this one that they have detailed it really well, and it'll be quite intricate. Again, you can use cotton or yarn or DK or something. I suppose the bigger the yarn, the bigger the dog is going to be. But I thought I'd slip this one in just in case, because so far I've done the rainbow one, this one, and the owl. So I just wanted to add a couple more into variation in case there was something to fit for everyone's liking. Now my next pattern, because of the mix and match challenge that's going on, I thought that when I saw this one, if there's anyone that still hasn't managed to do it yet and is looking for a pattern, I thought that this one would be good. And it's by Nelly Handmade, and it is a white cat. I love the face, it's so cute. And obviously for the mix and match challenge you need to have blue overalls and a mushroom hat. But I thought that it can be adapted and use another pattern for that. But if you didn't want to even do the challenge, I think she's a lovely cat. It's not very focusing very well, but I think she's a lovely, lovely cat. And so I just had to show everyone, just in case. And obviously I had the mix and match challenge in mind, but of course, like I say, if you don't want to, you don't have to, do you? It's fine, absolutely fine. So that is my reasoning for that. I have gone and mixed up my patterns now. Hold on a minute. That's better. Yes, so that was the one that I chose for the cat. My next one, you'll be getting fed up now, won't you? If you're still here, thank you for listening. I won't be much longer. It's hard to know whether there's a happy medium, because I did start off my channel by saying my Fridays by saying I'll just do a couple, but then the more I find, the more I want to show, because I get excited about it, and then I think, well, I'll just do a few. And the other day I had a comment given to me to say that it was so nice of me to show the patterns that they didn't want the video to end. So I've been just finding patterns, and I've been trying to think, well, if I show that one next week and do these now, but I thought, I'm just too excited, I need to show them all. And is a mobile for a baby, and I think this is a lovely idea. Again, you can use cotton, because that's what it looks like to me, or you can use yarn. DK yarn. It would be squidgier and a lot maybe more fluffier, but with cotton I don't know whether it would be heavier or not. But you can easily pick up these plastic you know, hangers for the mobiles, and then you could just put anything you like on them. And I just thought that was a really lovely idea. And in the picture, in the pattern, it's got a little mouse looking out of the basket, or otherwise you could use it as, because it's above the cot, you could always put the pacifier, or the dummy as we call it here, into the basket so that you know where the nighttime one is, or just to keep a spare in there. And I think that's a really good idea too. So I just had to share it because I think that would make a lovely baby gift for any expectant family. Now, the next one is a bit of fun and a wonderful decoration, and I really like it. Now, I don't know, I think all they've got mixed up because I can't find it unless this one. Oh yes, I know why. This is the only thing I've got, because this is by Repeat Craft and Me, and isn't that such a fun thing to have as a decoration? And I think I'd like one to have one on show back there. So I'm going to make one, I think, just to add to my ever massive list that's growing and growing, the things that I want to do. But I love this crochet hook, and this one is done in really big, soft, plump yarn, but you can use any, it doesn't matter. And the pattern, the reason why I've only got a picture here for you to look at is because it's on her website and I couldn't find where to print it off. So I could find the picture, but the actual written bit wouldn't come. And I also think that there is a video tutorial for this as well. So I'll link it down in the description box below, and then of course you can go along and have a look if this is something that actually does take your fancy too. But I just thought it was such fun to make an extra large crochet hook. How wonderful. Really good. And now we're just coming to the end. I've just got a couple more left. In fact, one, yes, this is the last two. This one here is a snuggle sack, and it is emojis. Now, this one, I mean, apart from the poo emoji, which I know is popular with kids anyway, and that's the reason why they've probably put it on, I do think this is really cool. And it will mean that you can just snuggle up and watch a movie inside the sack and eating snacks and whatever else, and I think that would be a really nice thing. I've seen lots of things like shark tail ones, and I've seen pizza ones and things, but I found this one and I thought it would be nice to show it because of it being emojis, and everyone has got a mobile phone nowadays, and well, most people, and you know, it's really nice. And I also like the fact that there's even a thumbs up, and we all like a like on our channel, don't we? So I just thought that I would show you this, and it's a Yarnspirations Red Heart pattern, which you can use any yarn. You don't have to use Red Heart Super Saver or anything, and you can just literally do what you want in any colour and make the emojis for them, and I think that'd be really good. And it comes in a it's got, the pattern has got a child size and an adult size, so it can be for teenagers as well. So I think that is really lovely. And last but not least, hang on. Oh no, I haven't actually. I've got 2 more. I didn't see the one underneath. This one here has got... Hello.
You filming?
Yeah. That's my husband. Right. But last but not least, we've got a Yarnspirations Red Heart blanket. Now, I like this one because of the pattern and the brightness. It really is really lovely. And I love the pattern. I love the fact that it's not just square, and it's really nice. It can be all pieced together as you go. There are octagon motifs, and it's even got halves and squares and corners, triangles, and it's really, really lovely. And if I show you here, that's how it's laid out, and that's how I cover it up in it. And I really do love this blanket as well. So it's been on in my Ravelry for a long time, and I always keep seeing new things instead of reverting back to what's in my library. So I must keep going back, and this, if anything, is teaching me to do that. So there is that one. And then I didn't realise this one was tucked at the back. I forgot all about this one. Here's another variation of blanket which has got a hexagon, but it's got a different kind of, it's got the swirly bit in the centre and going outwards, and I really like that as well. And this is a Yarnspirations pattern again, and it's using Caron Simply Soft. Now I know that Caron Simply Soft is sold in Hobbycraft, if there is anyone that does like to use that and wants to keep the same. But other than that, again, any yarn can be used, and you just go along and you use the crochet hook that's recommended, because I don't ever go down a hook for blankets because of depending on what it is, but for amigurumi you would scale down, you know, to prevent holes, but for blankets you don't really need to. So depending on your yarn that you use, you know, the hook size would be whatever's on the label. Now my husband's just come back from work, so I'm going to go, and thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking with me for so long, and I'm sorry that there is lots of patterns, but if you enjoyed it, that's fine, and that's what I'm here to do. And I hope you can find something from that lot that is really helpful to you and you are going to be able to use in the future. So please like and subscribe, because I'd like to see my channel grow. It's doing really well and I'm really pleased. And don't forget to give me a comment below and tell me which of the sunshines that you prefer and which is your favourite pattern this week. That would be really lovely too. So take care, my darlings, and happy crafting, and see you again on Monday. Take care. Bye.